best early access experience I've ever had. A bunch of computers just decked out. Those were the kind of lowlights. Other than that, honestly, everything was great about the game, and that's just real talk. I tell it like it is. Hey everyone, I'm Cisco. Welcome to the channel. I'm here with another After Hours review. If you're new, the idea with this is that there's so much hype, attention, early access reviews, that when the party's over, what's the game really like? This is an in-detail, unbiased review with late gameplay. Welcome to After Hours. Before we begin, I have some history with Cyberpunk 2077, and I'll do a review of 2.0 in a separate video. I have 300 hours in the game with 3 life paths, 2 completed. The Nomad life path, I had every side mission done before I did any main mission some time ago in preparation for all the updates and planned expansion. I thought I wanted to do a whole new playthrough when Phantom Liberty came out, but from what I was seeing, there wasn't really enough changes for me to do so. So I instead decided to play Phantom Liberty with my first 100% completed main, a street kid netrunner. So here we go, let's begin. It's no secret that Cyberpunk is one of the best looking games out there. Character models, puddles, buildings, neon lights, the city, the immersive conversations you have, these are all top notch. And with Phantom Liberty, Cyberpunk 2077 reaches its full potential. Cinematics. You do get a third person cutscene in one ending, but with it being in first person, they do such a good job making you feel immersed in conversation. I wish we would get more stuff like in the trailers they do. I don't know if I'll ever fully love not having cinematics in third person, but Cyberpunk 2077 is an exception. They just do it so well. Even the small things. I really enjoyed carrying someone and placing them down. It feels so real to me. Or some of the car rides, and most times you can't even notice them transition from game to cutscene. I feel like it's their calling card now. It's so well done. But what do you think? Do you want more third-person cinematics? Or do you like it how it is now? Story. Story is top-notch. You can get a call from Songbird who tells you she can get her hands on a cure for you because she's in the same situation. And she communicates with you through the relic, taking over Johnny's spot. Without communicating through the relic, there would be less weight into the decision to want to get involved at all. Instead, Songbird shows you she has power and skill, and a solution that as a player you've been craving for, especially if you've played since the release in 2020. Trust issues, manipulation, betrayals, and even though this wasn't a direct epilogue or continuation of the base game, the decisions you made earlier do continue into the expansion, which made it believable and acceptable for me to enjoy the experience even more. Reed and Songbird really make you care about their situations, and they cast enough doubt about each other that it makes you hesitant on who to believe. In my playthrough, I sided with Songbird because I wanted to be healed and ride off in the sunset with Pan Am and friends, even though I care about saving Silverhand too. The more you play the story, you realize, wow, we might actually get this ending. V will actually be cured. Could this be the happy ending we've all been craving for? Not so fast, not so fast. Songbird reveals as last minute as she can that the cure only works for one and not for two. She lied to you. Cyberpunk 2077 thankfully gives you the option to call Reed to make a deal because she was lying to you and manipulating you the whole time. What happens after that is literally one of the saddest things I've ever played in a video game. You get cured, but you lose everything. Because they told you it would be a few weeks to a month of recovery, but you go into a coma for 2 years. And everyone moves on. And you lose the ability to be who you used to be. No implants, no super speed, no time freezing. You are officially an NPC. That's what Cyberpunk does to you. That's what CD Projekt Red decided to do. Wild. I replayed and tried some different options. Siding with Reed is almost completely different, although a bit annoying that Songbird gets upset for you betraying her, even though you know that she's the one manipulating the whole time and lying to you the whole time. But the game turns into Cyberpunk Isolation, where a robot is chasing you around the compound. But those aren't my kind of games. Like, it was cool, but it was a bit too lengthy and tedious. Having to do several hacking mini games and then have to hide or get one-shotted by the robot. It was cool for a bit, but went on for too long. The endings were different enough to make it worth playing to see what's different. But based on my first full run, Phantom Liberty did an amazing job with the story. Although not the true happy ending we wanted, it was a clever one. What about you? Did you start a new game or continue your old playthrough like me? Companions. The companions you meet in the base game get new dialogue once you get into Dogtown. And this is welcomed because companions have always been disconnected with big missions. You can finally call your friends and tell them, hey, I'm in Dogtown, or hey, the NUSA called me. This was one of the biggest things for the true fans that stuck around since release, because you'd do big missions and there would be like no connection. Have a romance? Going to do a suicidal mission? Don't even try to contact them, because it's like they aren't even involved in your life. But with the expansion, it finally is believable. More of that going forward, please. Along with the new dialogue, there's even new gigs that your companions can get involved in. Yay, let's give them an applause, hooray! They didn't come with you, and you couldn't call them after a mission or be like, hey, I just went through this mission. Can you please hear me out? They finally decided to do something like this, so insert applause here. Now these gigs are such as needing advice or arranging transport with the help of Pan Am. Even though you don't physically see them and it's through text, it definitely works. And I loved working with my friends. It made it more believable. It made them feel like they are in the world, part of my story. More of that going forward. Don't change that recipe. Reed and Alex from the NUSA are characters that have gone through many hurts that make you feel for them. They open up to you and you connect with them. Alex is just doing this job because she wants to retire and enjoy life after getting out of the hood, basically. Reed is well played. A real spy. Loves his job even though they try to kill him. You can tell this dude needs a break. He needs to get all his stuff together. Songbird is a mystery and keeps you interested. If you're a netrunner, you connect even more because of some extra dialogue. You get to meet a new fixer, Mr. Hands, face to face, and you'll do gigs for him and you'll get to know what his agendas are. Previously, he was just in a silhouette, and so there was a lot of mystery, so it was kind of cool to get to know him. I like what they did with companions, and I hope they expand on working with your friends to do missions more, because it made it more believable, and it made the companions feel like they were a part of the world and your life. Romance. There is romance continuity. When I first launched the game, there was no new dialogue with Pan Am, which made me shake my head. I was like, here we go again. However, once you start Phantom Liberty, there's new dialogue. Although it's mostly text, there's a few voice lines. It's not deep, but with that, and the mission with Paco where you can organize a plan to get them out with Pan Am, makes it more believable and fleshed out part of an RPG. Instead of having her be a static character with 3 dialogue options all game. I don't expect Baldur's Gate 3 or even Starfield, but I hope that this is the formula moving forward. Combat. Combat has always been good enough for me, but netrunning in Phantom Liberty is so much more believable. I didn't realize how much more fun it would be. Executing a quick hack, hearing the enemy yell out, "Netrunner!" and then having a timer until the opposing netrunner discovered your trail via the network. I do miss one thing, doing a short circuit and eliminating them because the new updates scale the enemies. So no more one-shots, you gotta stack short circuits or all kinds of other quick hacks. Car fights are clunky to me. It was never a mechanic I wanted to be fleshed out. I would just play GTA if I wanted to do that. I didn't even get any weapons for the cars. I planned to do that at some point, but it just wasn't my thing. One cool addition is these special crates that drop in from the sky that are meant to be for the dictator that's ruling over Dogtown, Kurt. Basically, you intercept these packages and they have all kinds of special items in there. Pretty high level stuff. It was a fun, easy way to upgrade your gear or sell them off or have a fun extra combat thing to do while you're moving from gig to gig. Music. The music in Cyberpunk has always been top notch. The new and old favorites, from taking out scavs to the new Lizzy Wizzy performance. It has always been a cohesive, vibing experience. It really comes with a package, and it really delivers with the whole experience. So well done to the music dudes in CD Projekt Red. What could be better? Performance with that weird low frame issue getting in and out of the map. But whatever patch they did that came without patch notes, it fixed it. I still get it with ray tracing, but it's not as at a standstill like before. And for a part of the game, it reverted to no ray tracing, even though I didn't disable it and I didn't notice. Others were asking about this issue in Reddit, but if you're having issues, turn off ray tracing. Not having this map issue made the game so much more enjoyable because you would look at the pause menu and then have to wait 15 seconds for the game to load the map, and then you would get out and you would have to wait 10-15 seconds for the game to load. It just became annoying. Other than that, the game is running fine. Ending. Although clever, Cyberpunk 2077 continues their streak of not having a true happy ending. If you want to feel sad, play Cyberpunk 27. You will be cured but lose everything and literally start a new life as an NPC. Your romance moves on, which I can accept if it makes sense. With Judy, it makes sense. She moves on, she gets married, but she still wants to hang out, and she still picks up the phone. But the fact that you tell Panam you were in a coma for 2 years, you think Panam would at least want to hear what you have to say. It just made me feel sad and frustrated at some of those plot holes. It felt like you were forced a certain narrative. I think this should be expanded on, or fixed. Like, why did no one reach out to Panam? Why would V not have an emergency contact? Just too much what ifs and plot holes to leave that in the way, especially if you played the game when it first came out, wanting a happy resolution. Everything comes at a cost, and I get it. It's clever, but they dropped the ball on the romance conclusion, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. Bugs, there were really no major bugs on the PC for me. When the game released in 2020, it really wasn't that bad on PC. Yes, it was buggy, and yes, it needed a bunch of updates, but it's just night and day now. So that's my Phantom Liberty review. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Please leave a like and subscribe. That would make me happy. So let me know what you think about Phantom Liberty. Did you side with Songbird? Did you side with Reed? Are you okay with the Panam situation? Please let me know in the comments. Much love and peace to you. I'll see you in the next video.